If you're a CEO or VP wondering why your sales team isn't converting the leads, I want to stop blaming the leads for a second. The real problem, it's almost always internal. And the good news, it's fixable. Hi, my name is Al. I'm the CEO and owner of Uplink Group, LLC. We're a BPO that specializes in contact center services from appointment setting and outbound sales to customer support and back office operations. Before launching Uplink, I worked with some of the largest BPOs in the world, helping enterprise-level clients streamline their operations and drive real performance improvement. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 core reasons why most sales teams underperform and what you can do right now to close the gap between the opportunity and revenue. Whether your team is in-house, outsourced, or a mix of both, this insight will help you get better results and resources that you will need to make your company successful. Let's start with the obvious scapegoat, lead quality. I hear it all the time. Our leads are bad, our leads are outdated, etc. But if multiple reps are struggling across various sources, then the issue is not really the lead. It has to be the process or system. Maybe your reps don't have a structured follow-up cadence or sequence. Maybe they're just calling once or twice, giving up, or worse, they're not even calling fast enough. According to studies, contacting a lead within 5 minutes increases your chances of closing by 400%. If your team isn't fast enough, consistent, persistent, then your leads are silently dying. One of the things your company needs to establish is how quickly are you going to be calling. And for this, you need to create a calculation that allows you to know how many leads you're going to be working per agent and how fast you want your agents answering these leads. You can use a staffing calculator in our website to be able to calculate how many agents you need to be able to get to those leads fast enough. Additionally, if you want to ensure the people are actually answering the phone, you cannot just call them once or twice. According to recent statistics, 80% of Americans will not pick up the phone if they don't know who's calling. Therefore, you'll need to call at least 5 or 6 times or even leave voice message before you even have an opportunity on closing a lead. Now let's talk about what your reps say on a call. Generic script don't convert anymore, and neither does a robotic or upbeat tone of voice. High-performing teams use consultative scripts designed to diagnose problems and not just push features. For example, in the past, you will get a telemarketer simply calling you with an upbeat tone of voice, pushing all the features, pushing all the benefits of their product without really understanding what's the problem and what drive the person or the lead to submit a form in the website or just signing up for a newsletter. So what you have to do today is to actually engage with the customer and understand what are their needs and what drove them to fill up that form, to try to understand their problem and therefore connecting it or hooking it to an appointment being scheduled or to a sales opportunity occurring. If your reps are still using the same script of 2021, it's time to update it. One of the crucial things you could do today is to create 5 different examples of scripts and test them all. You can assign one agent to every particular script, try it out for a month and see what are the differences. Once you identify which scripts are working the best, try to align it to your entire operations and then go on with the next test. Ultimately, this will give you the results you need to identify which script is working better for your audience and which one you should standardize across your operations. How often are you listening to your team's calls? Most sales teams have 0 real-time coaching. They don't measure conversion rates by rep, talk to close ratio, or objection handling. If you're not even reviewing calls or using QA or speech analytics, then you're managing in blind. The data is there. The question is, are you using it? Many companies out there, when they outsource to other BPOs, they have strict requirements on how many calls or chats should be audited for every single rep. The reason for this is, if you don't measure it, you cannot improve it. Once your team starts evaluating continuously, they'll be able to provide coaching and provide feedback to the representatives, and therefore it will help them improve over time. If you don't have the bandwidth or the manpower to do this, implementing a speech analytics tool can be a game changer, because this can help you identify where your team is dropping the ball or even which script is working and which scripts might be triggering rage or angriness on your customers. So implementing speech analytics or having a dedicated QA team will help you identify where are the gaps in the performance and how to fix them quickly. Working hard, it's not a strategy. Your reps need ongoing structured training. This means live coaching, objection handling workshops, scenario-based role-playing. Sales isn't just about motivation, it's about skill building. And if you're not investing time in training, you don't expect your conversion rate to magically improve. Many times companies, they just go ahead and hire people that already have experience in sales, and they give them a quick 2 hours crash training on their product or service. This is not really enough. Nowadays, large call centers and large operations dedicate a lot of time to investigating which type of scripts, skills, or words that you need to say through your conversation will trigger the opportunities to close sales. Once you identify which are these strategies or what are the words that are actually working, you need to embed this into your training agenda so that in the future, whenever you hire somebody new, you're capable of teaching them about your product, about your service, but also how to engage with the clients, how to overcome objections, how to trigger curiosity out of your clients, and most importantly, how to actually make sales. But this is not enough. Training them at the beginning is not enough. You need to also consider the coaching sessions that you're providing. During a proper coaching session, you must ensure your agents actually listening to their calls so that they can identify by themselves what are the challenges that they're facing when interacting with the clients and how they can fix it. So let's stop just blaming it on the agent or on their bad performance or lack of motivation, and let's start creating training materials, coaching sessions, and all the materials and documents that your team actually needs to be able to improve. Here's a silent killer: poor CRM usage. Reps often forget to follow up. Tasks not even assigned, and there's no automation to nudge them. Leads fall through the cracks and simply vanish. A solid CRM workflow should be able to track the leads, follow-up reminders, automated emails, and even lead scoring. If your system isn't reporting your reps, then it's just slowing them down. There's nothing more tedious than having to fill up a system just because. Using a CRM needs to be one of the biggest strategies that your team should implement. Now, sometimes there are CRMs out there that have a lot of capabilities, but companies are just not taking the time to train their agents on how to use them. So take a look today at your current CRM, see what capabilities of automation it has, what capabilities of reminders, of follow-ups, or even lead tracking do they have, and ensure your team is actually doing it. But there needs to be a reason for them on why they should update the CRM. So you can use the KPIs and data that the CRM is providing you to be able to create a motivational campaign or a motivational program that will help them be more mindful of updating the CRM. Therefore, you'll be able to ensure they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's part of your team's responsibility to ensure they train the agents on how to use the CRM and fix any doubts that they may have. Now, if your CRM is definitely not giving you this added value or these features that your company needs, then it's time to take a look at a different CRM. Now I have a question for you. Are you measuring what really matters? Too many companies obsess with call volume and they ignore conversion quality. Don't just reward a rep for making 100 or 150 calls per day. Reward them for setting qualified appointments and closing deals. Output metrics like dials are useful, but they're just simply indicators that will tell you if your operation is going through the right direction. But the end game and the end goal has to be conversion and sales rate. Now, you probably don't know how to track these KPIs. Well, this ties with the previous point that I was talking about, which is your CRM. Your CRM is your best friend for KPI tracking and for performance management. Ideally, your CRM should be able to give you all the reporting you need to identify which agents are dialing more, but which agents are converting most amount of appointments, or which ones are actually closing deals. You also need to take into consideration the size of the deal or the money generated through the deal. There's many companies out there that they use a KPI that's related to financial specifically. For example, they calculate the cost of having one agent taking calls, which includes their salary, compensations, benefits, system, but they also compare it against the income that comes from that particular agent. For example, if this agent was able to make 5 sales in a given week, they calculate how much of that sale actually becomes money, and then they compare it to be able to calculate the financial outcome of each of the representatives. Therefore, this will give you a directional KPI that will be able to help you take decisions in a better way. Finally, not every rep is a closer, and that's okay, but you need to recognize a skill gap fast. If someone's struggling to qualify or build rapport, they might not be fit for that role. Also, don't underestimate the value of having a specialized structure. One team for appointment scheduling and another one for closing. Or if your team is stretched thin, consider outsourcing the front end, let the pros handle the cold calls, and let your team focus on closing the deals. So now that you know the 7 reasons your sales team might not be converting, and more importantly, what to do about it, if you're ready to fix these gaps but don't have the time to build the systems and processes from scratch, my team and I can help. We've worked with companies across multiple industries to restructure, train, and optimize their sales operations. Click the link in the description to book a quick call or grab our free sales process audit PDF to get started. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this useful. We got more videos coming your way every week.